Hello, welcome. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. It helps the algorithm find me. And thanks for... So the first thing I'm going to do using some ultramarine blue, sap greens, yellow and titanium white is paint in a background. I'm using my usual palette of water mixable oils. I have titanium white, cad yellow light, raw sienna, raw umber, ultramarine blue, sap green and alizarin crimson, and I added cerulean blue and phthalo blue, and I painted in my background using ultramarine blue, cad yellow light and sap green and titanium white. And then I thought I'd put a tabletop in, and I used raw sienna and a little alizarin crimson because I love a red tabletop. And now I'm going to use my kabuki brush, which I got from the dollar store, the Dollar Tree actually, and with some light circular movements I'm just going to blend that so that the background is sort of very soft. You're looking through a glass window. A hyacinth has a lot of little florets, very higgledy-piggledy. They don't line up, those little florets. I had painted in some florets with a brush that was too small, so now I'm using a small round, not quite as small. And I know that you probably can't see these pale blue florets that I'm painting in, but I want to get a light effect behind the darker florets. So I thought I'd try it this way and see what happens. The way I paint florets is to put the lightest pressure at the tip of the petal, and then as I draw it in towards the center, I apply more pressure, and that gives me that nice petal shape. I've got most of my florets in, but we'll see odd little petals sticking out, because like I say, they are quite messy. So I've mixed a slightly darker colour with French ultramarine blue and phthalo, a little titanium white, and I'm going to put in some more florets. Some of them will be facing us and the others will be away, so you'll only see a few of those petal tips. So don't forget to just put the odd petal stroke in without completing the flower. So I'm going to even the shape up a bit with a few more petals on the side, here and there, just sort of dabbing away. You don't see the complete floret. Much darker dots in the centers of the flowers. And I'm going to using a little cad yellow light and some sap green and a tiny amount of maybe alizarin and some titanium white, maybe a little more yellow. I'm going to put some of the, well, I call them leaves, but they're really more like spears. Put in some ultramarine blue down at the base. And we'll say this is a blue bowl. I'm not sure what the bulbs look like. I didn't look at that part. I have a feeling they're sort of brownish. I'm using ultramarine blue, French ultramarine blue at the base. And sticking some raw umber in there. And around and underneath. Maybe a bit to one side, sort of indicating that the light is coming in this direction, and this is throwing a little shadow maybe. And let's put in a little reflection. Maybe that shadow would be a bit blue too. Okay, so now we need to get a little more shape in the flower itself, and I'm going to do that by adding a dark side And I just go over what I've already painted because, quite honestly, it all adds texture. I've added a little phthalo blue and some titanium, a little ultramarine, and I'm going to paint over some more. This is the way I do it. I just show you or share with you how I paint. I don't say this is the right way to do anything. This is how I do it. So really, there are lots of good artists on YouTube who might give you a more professional painting lesson, but that's not what I aim to do. I just like to share what I'm doing. Okay, I think that's beginning to look better. Now I've added some titanium white to my mixture of phthalo blue and ultramarine blue, and I'm going to maybe a little more white. I'm going to put in some lighter blossoms. Is that what you call them? Don't forget there's 5 petals. Maybe some more down here. I don't know, I do think that is looking more hyacinth-like. So I'm going to dot around some even paler petals, maybe even whole flowers, like that. 5 petals. And some maybe odd ones here and there. I don't think I've managed to achieve that lighter outer rim of the petal that I wanted to do, but I'm going in even paler, like mostly white, I think. Okay, just the odd one here and there. maybe one up here. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. I'm going to put some dark dots in for the center. I'm just going to do dark blue because I can't remember what it actually looked like. But this is a painting, my impression. This is not a photograph of a hyacinth. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to work a little more on the leaves down here. I don't know if that's interesting to anyone. I'm going to put a paler blue rim around here maybe. Maybe a line down here. And I'm going to just like bring that round this way. Put a line in there. Put a little blue on there. And maybe in the reflection down here. Just gives it a little more shine, doesn't it? I like that better. Okay, using Phthalo blue, I'm going to put in some central dots. And remember, this may not be actually how hyacinths look. It's my impression of hyacinths. And if you look at hyacinths, you may see something entirely different. Actually, I kind of like something a bit darker down here. I'm just using straight Phthalo blue just to make it a little darker on this side. I like that. Going to darken the central stalk and this side and down the leaf. I'm going to put a little alizarin crimson in at the base. And maybe at the top a little bit. I like to liven things up, and for me that's putting alizarin in. I just like it. So that's what I do. Using some raw sienna. A little bit of raw umber too. I think that's coming along. I'm going to put some lights on the leaves using Cad Yellow Light Sap Green. Maybe even paler. I think that the flowers need some more light too. Okay, I'm putting in some more. Whoops. This is just straight titanium white on here. I'm just doing the odd petal, not every petal. I think that looks better. I think I could see a few places I could add a little dark. I'm just going to use my tiny brush. Just put in a few really dark darks. I am going to call it a day, I think. I actually am going to with just plain water on a bristle brush, an old bristle brush, take most of the water out, and I'm just going to, if I can, too much. I'm just trying to sort of smooth up some of the edges. Because that's the way I like it to look. Now, a lot of people don't care about things like that or like a different look. But you have to paint how you like it, or it's not authentic. And so that's what I try to do, is to paint how I like to see things. Okay, I don't like that. I am going to leave that, because otherwise I'll just go from bad to worse. I like that now. That's it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and help the algorithm find me. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.